Hey, welcome to the show today, and today we're going to be talking about people we've learned from. Uh, and of course, as I get older, my memory isn't so much in color; it's in black and white. That's the picture. Um, and the question is: 10 people who impacted your life negatively or positively, and why? Mrs. Ryan, my ninth grade language arts teacher, my English teacher, encouraged me to see themes in literature and life. The book that did it for me was Great Expectations because she examined it from all the different characters, and I was like, fantastic. And of course, what it taught me was that an event isn't just an event is different to different people depending on what their perspective is. And that has helped me and cursed me in life. My dad, Clint. He showed me by example about being content. Uh, and, that doesn't mean we don't strive for becoming better or whatever, but there's not that angst in your heart that, hey, I don't have enough or whatever. So, thanks, Dad. Lisa. Lisa is a waitress. The unfortunately the restaurant that she worked at many years ago uh, is out of business now. But I remember her so well because she loved serving other people. In fact, after working for several years as a waitress, she actually got into the manager training program at her restaurant. And then I was there a little bit later and I said, "Hey, Lisa," I said, "are you back to waitressing?" And she says, "Yeah." She said, "I might have made a little more money, but I really love waiting on people." And I thought, wow, isn't that great? What a lesson to be learned. My sisters, Ruth and Carolyn, just their dedication to family, not just their grandkids and their kids, but to everybody in the family and how much they care for them and in return are cared for. Sergeant Kithcart, United States Marine Corps, true leadership and compassion. And I got to say something about Sergeant Kithcart because he used to tease me mercilessly when I was in the Marine Corps. But it was all in good fun, and he was a good guy. But the thing that really impressed me about him was not long, I only was with him a few months, and then he was transferred. And a few weeks after he was transferred, I was in my room in my barracks, and someone came down to get me and says, "Hey, you got a phone call?" And it was Sergeant Kithcart. Well, he'd known I'd gone to college in Iowa, and he had seen in USA Today that somebody with my last name had passed, and he thought that that might be my dad. Well, it wasn't my dad. But he was, I think he was calling from North Carolina, maybe, and he had seen something in a newspaper, national newspaper, and he thought he made a connection, and he cared enough to call. So this list is long, and we can go on and go on and go on about negative examples, and I'm not big into that because I like to think about the positive, but Mrs. Moses, York, and all the teachers that just didn't get it and how to. They taught me by their negative example because I wasn't the best student in the world. Not I was necessarily stupid, but I I questioned things and I was like, and I wasn't that I was trying to be mean or obnoxious, but I was always wondering why. And their behavior towards me and others was basically don't question us. And as a teacher now, today, I love it when people ask why because that gives us a chance to go deeper into why something is working or the why something is. My boss, Richard, uh, years ago, too much learning can make you mad. He just, he would learn and learn and learn and learn, but he wouldn't apply. It was just an exercise in brain work. And he liked to be smarter than the smartest guy in the room. And I have learned that if you're the smartest guy in the room, then you probably need to change rooms. Number 8, Mark, a Marine and a former roommate of mine. The art of being social. This guy was funny. He was a decent looking guy. I said he was funny. He was sarcastic, um, sometimes rude, sometimes crude. But man, was he social. He really could connect people in a way. I mean, people that were completely different than each other. What a great lesson. Another Marine and another roommate of mine, uh, Scott. Tenacity, no fear of failure. Now, I don't know what Scott looks like today, but Scott was not the prettiest guy in the world. But when you'd see him down at Waikiki, or when we were on leave, I could. He was always with a knockout. And one day I said, Scott, what is the deal? And he says, well, there's only so many women out there. And he says, I just said I'm never going to go out with a woman that's less than an 8 or a 9 or thereabouts. And he says, I just keep saying, I get rejection after rejection. But if finally somebody's going to say yes. Wow, that's amazing. And number 10, Dave, a youth pastor of mine. And there's a positive and negative thing about him, and that is that honesty and bluntness are not equal. He spoke the truth. He would tell you the way it was, but at the same time, sometimes you need to temper the truth. Oh, I love Dave. He was a great guy. I learned a lot from him, but I also learned that sometimes you need to tone down the honesty because unsolicited honesty is bluntness. So what's up? What's the deal about all this? Well, I think that we need to reflect on where we are today and what we've learned. And sometimes when we do that, we learn that we haven't learned it as well as we should. So until the next time, I thank you for joining us and have a great day.